Hey y'all, and welcome to Geek Freaks. I'm here with Daniel
Hold on.
and Jonathan.
Hey, yo.
How you guys been doing today?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, let's get into playing and watching. Jonathan, what have you been playing? What have you been watching? I know you've been pretty busy lately.
Yeah. So you guys know I got a newborn baby, so I haven't been doing a lot, but I've been playing Minecraft. I always go back to Minecraft in between other games, so it's like kind of a nice retreat. And watching, I've been watching some good stuff. I don't know if last week, if I mentioned the movie I Care a Lot on Netflix. Did I mention
You did.
that?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, that was pretty good. I was making my notes. And my wife's like, "Oh, don't forget to tell them about that movie." It's like, "Oh yeah." But the latest find is the Great Pottery Throwdown on HBO. Have you guys seen that?
I have not. That sounds like something I would have known about.
I watched some of the, I don't know, I guess dumbest or funniest DIY shows and stuff.
No.
But like I told you, that Blown Away on Netflix was the glass blowing competition. I love the Great British Baking competitions. This is making pottery out of clay. So it's pretty awesome. It's on HBO Max. So check it out.
So you find some of the weirdest shows, man. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Daniel, what about you? What have you been playing? What have you been watching?
I've been playing Call of Duty,
Mhm.
Modern Warfare, and then the only thing I've been watching right now is One Piece.
Oh, you're actually getting through One Piece. Wow.
Yeah, I was like, whatever. There's like 4 seasons on Netflix. I'll just start watching it, but it's cool. People say it was better than Naruto. I don't agree. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of fillers than One Piece. A lot of times I'm like, man, I really want to skip this right now.
Now, is there a list online like there is for Naruto where you're able to see what episodes to skip?
I didn't even look. I just started watching it. I was like, I'm not doing anything this weekend, so I'll just watch them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a lot of episodes. I'm like, oh man, and I feel like they just drag on. Like the episodes just like it's gonna be a boss fight, but it's just dragging. And I'm like,
Mm.
oh my goodness, like let's get to the fight already.
Yeah, I do want to read the manga because apparently they're the most common manga, the popular manga. But I think I'm gonna stick with the manga just because it's a lot less of the filler, and I'm okay on the
Yeah,
filler. I don't necessarily need that
yeah.
much more time taken up. But yeah, I did find
What
an
about you,
app.
Frank?
I'll have to share it with you guys. The app actually has all mangas in it. You like subscribe to it. It's kind of like one of these comicsologies or whatever, and has just all manga in there. So that's what I'm going to be using to get through it. As for me, yeah, I am currently playing Minecraft, but really, what it comes down to is on the 16th, I'm going to be playing Satisfactory. We have a new update for Satisfactory. We try to find a way to do dedicated servers, and it's something that's not done on Coffee Stain's side yet. So we're hoping to find a third person to do that. And unfortunately, nothing that we really trust. So we're just gonna have regular servers going on, and we'll share each other's works and stuff like that on the stream, which will still be fun. That'll be fun to do. And then we have what I've been watching is The Great. I just finished that actually, and I'm kind of rewatching it right now. It's about Catherine the Great, and it's a comedy drama series. It's more comedy than anything else. And one of the best parts is that they say huzzah all the time. And I told Scott about the show. He's watching it now. So now during our D&D game, me and him throw out the huzzahs left and right as part of our D&D characters. Things a huzzah. it's just fun. But it's a really funny show. It's a really good one. And that's on Hulu if you guys want to check that out. All right. A couple yes.
Real quick, I forgot to mention another thing. It's not watching or playing. What I've been listening to, the Delta Flyer. I dived into that.
You did.
Love it. Oh yeah. Oh man.
I'm jealous. I need to do that.
It's good. So they watch each episode. I guess I didn't really. I knew what it was gonna be, but I didn't realize how good it was gonna be. But yeah, they kind of I got that witty banter. It's the actors Garrett
those two
Wong
are so great.
and Robert Duncan McNeil, who play Tom Paris and Harry Kim on Star Trek Voyager. And yeah, they got the witty banter, them just joking around, talking and stuff like that. And then they watch an episode, off air, and they come back and talk about all the stuff. It's so much behind the scenes. It's not very much about just the story, but it is all the production and stuff behind the scenes, and all. It's just great stories. So, and I'm excited because they talk about future guests they want to have on and stuff. So this has got to be great. They already have 3 seasons, or they're in the 3rd season right now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to, and it's a weekly. So I'm excited. I'm gonna just keep.
I'm so glad you dived into that. Man. How far in are you so far?
4th episode now.
Nice. Okay. Now, are you watching the episode with them or no?
No. Once I get caught up, I probably will. They have a thing with their patrons too, where when they're live streaming it, I guess you can watch their live stream of their reactions while they're watching the episode, so you can watch it with them. But I got to get caught up. They're already in the 3rd season, so
I know they just trying to binge it. Kate Mulgrew on like a couple weeks ago. That was a big deal when they did that, and it's for the episode that everybody believes is the worst one, where they go past warp 10.
Oh yeah, it's called Threshold.
Yeah, they had her on for Threshold, which was kind of a fun one. It was like, of all episodes, like that is kind of one of those, like, let's poke fun at ourselves for this episode.
I know, but I remember that she's like, of all the episodes you guys are gonna ask me about, it's Threshold. Like,
yeah,
you don't want me on for Year of Hell or something big, a big Janeway heavy episode, but
they better bring her back for Year of Hell.
Oh yeah,
as much as we've talked about on the podcast, we need to bring her on here. I wouldn't be able to focus. Awesome. Speaking of Patreon, Jonathan, nice transition there. This episode is brought to you by our sponsors, Kevin and Banshee Shooter from our Patreon. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Patreon, and hope you guys enjoyed that exclusive series that's over there, Sloop, this week, or this, whatever, bye-week. We talked about Batman, the Mask of the Phantasm, so it was a lot of fun. I just want to address something real quick. Our push to talk is getting delayed. We had a bit of a snafu with the 200th episode. It was going to end up being a push to talk episode. I was like, oh, let's not do that. Let's make it one of the regular ones. And then with his work, so push to talk is likely coming next week. So Squeaks is working on that one. And then the remasters, I don't know if I mentioned them last week, but we have remasters up for our first 10 episodes. So you guys go back and hear those, and they're slightly better than they were originally. Mostly the volume is leveled out. That's the main thing that I needed to fix. So that's all taken care of. All right, let's get into the news. We have some conventions starting to fire up and stuff like that. We're going to start covering the conventions probably mid-May, like we used to, letting you guys know where your local conventions are at as we return to normality. But we do have some online stuff coming up. Square Enix is doing a live event on March 18th at 10 a.m. We will be live streaming that on our stream as well, so you guys can join us and watch and geek out with us. Is there any Square Enix game that you guys want some additional information from? Because don't they make Death Stranding, Daniel? Oh no, that's Konami or something like that.
That's Sony and Kojima.
Okay. Is there anything from Square Enix that you're a big fan of, you would want more content of?
They pretty much make all the Final Fantasy games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love those Final Fantasy games.
So maybe we'll get the next part of Final Fantasy VII announced or something like that. Because they've been talking about Life is Strange. I know it's going to be one of the things, but that's kind of a lackluster game to be your headliner, you know?
Yeah, it kind of is. I'm really hoping that they pretty much bring in a new Final Fantasy game, because the last one was kind of horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It was with the little characters, the four guys that drive a car. Remember you tried it? That was like, so annoying.
Horrible. 15, right? Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I'm hoping something better. With 7 coming out like the way it did,
mm-hmm.
they should definitely use that engine and make a new Final Fantasy off that engine.
Yeah. I've only heard good reviews about 7, so I don't see why they wouldn't do that. That is a good point. Hopefully they do that and take the ball and run with it.
Yeah, like it'd be cool for 7 Part 2 to come out, but it'd be also awesome if they came out with a new one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They haven't really hinted at when Part 2 is coming out, and I know that they might be trying to upscale it real quick for the PS5. But I mean, we're ready for it. I think I'm ready for it myself. I kind of want to wait till Part 2's in the horizon before I actually start diving into Part 1 myself, just so I know I can go right into it. All right, next up we have an Xbox event. I don't know if this means that they're not coming to E3. E3 is trying to grab everybody, but they are quite pricey to join E3 because they're also doing a virtual event. So hold out on that. I think they're going to do their own event. I have a question for you guys. What kind of positive things do you think conventions have learned from this pandemic event? Do you think they've taken anything away that they're going to use for live events when they come up to the future? John, do you have any ideas?
So I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, I haven't been engaging with conventions since they're not open. At first, I was trying to get a hold of everyone that was doing an online convention and stuff, but those were very few and far between. Most of them are all just being canceled from what I was reaching out to. But one thing I've noticed, and I don't think it would really apply to live conventions moving forward, but seems to me a lot more direct from how do you say, like, from the hosts that would be at the conventions, or the celebrities that would be at conventions. A lot of direct interaction from them to their fans now, because they know that, you know, if they used to make a little side money or used to enjoy engaging with their fans by going to conventions, that's on lockdown for, you know, this past year. So, you know, like we were talking about the Delta Flyers new podcast and stuff like that, and other ways that and being more active on social media and stuff like that a lot of our favorite actors and you know, celebrities and stuff like that are being more engaging and interactive with people online. So I think that's positive, though. I don't think moving forward into live conventions, I don't think that will really you know, change anything or do us much good.
Okay.
It's kind of
so
Yeah.
you don't think that maybe like these like Zoom meetings, these live events that have been going on are gonna increase it all when or maintain it all once we have live conventions? You think that, oh no, I'm good, I'm gonna go to the convention, then you guys can meet me there, kind of thing?
Yeah, I kind of hope they don't. Maybe it'd be a great platform and tool to promote and get people out to the conventions. But I'm hoping once it's safe that, you know, full blown conventions are back in full swing and everybody can go and enjoy meeting, you know, their favorite, you know, actors and stuff like that, or you know, video game developers or comic book writers, whatever, in person. I think it's a lot more impactful and a lot more fun.
A version of this that I really liked is you know, we've been to the Dollops concerts a couple times, right? They're live recordings. Ever since the pandemic started, Gareth from that podcast, that he does this thing called Garriffs every Thursday. Yeah. It's just a cool
Those
way
are
to kind of
great.
interact with him and see him. And now they have this new thing called like the Pam Corner, where it's his mom's show, and he like talks to
Yeah.
his mom because she's been a person on the show a few times.
I think it's like Pandemic.
Yeah, I think
Something
it's something like that.
Yeah.
So I do like that. Like, it's like another level of interaction with our favorite stars or you know, people that we follow because of the pandemic. And it'd be nice to have that continue. But as we move into normal life, we may drop that stuff, and it's a shame because it's kind of one of the positives that came out of all of this mess. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the Zoom for Batman Beyond series, and
Yeah.
they like role played a one of the comic books, and it was actually pretty awesome to see. It was like I was smiling the whole time because it was cool to see them like doing it live and stuff like that. I really hope that more comic book voice actors like join in and continue doing this,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean we're still in the pandemic, and you know the conventions are gonna open up, but it's not gonna be safe for everybody.
Yeah.
It's you still gonna have a chance to get, you know, the virus. So I hope they continue this whole Zoom meetings and like doing all this stuff for the fans, because it's like seeing Smallville cast together, stuff like that was cool. It's cool, and then like Batman Beyond was amazing.
Yeah.
Like it was so awesome to see everybody, and you realize you're like, wait, he did this voice too. Like that was so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome.
Kevin Conroy is a treasure. He's the one that did Bruce Wayne's voice in Batman
Yeah,
Beyond and
yeah.
everything. That man, because I've been watching a lot of documentaries on the Batman animated series to do the sloop that we did for our Patreon, and to get as much information as possible beforehand. And just watching that guy's pure talent, it's just so freaking cool. And he didn't take the role until he found out. Somebody brought up the fact that, like, well, the thing with Batman is Bruce Wayne is the mask and Batman is who he actually is. And he's like, I need to be Batman. He's like, he knew, like, after that, he's like, that's what I want to do. And he went into the interview, and he's like, well, he's a stage actor before that. So he's like, I don't want to just like do the voice. I want to really play Batman. So he took the tablecloth off the table and made a cape out of it, and it actually like did his lines. And they came in and like, you're our Batman. It's perfect.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
Like, they should definitely do more stuff like that and just show old content from when they were in the studio and doing their scenes or whatever.
yeah.
They should definitely do more stuff like that.
Yeah, it makes it easier for those who sometimes go to conventions to be a presenter, to have the whole cast on and stuff like that. So we do get something that we would never probably see before. Like when Community came together, like the Batman Beyond guys and stuff. It's because it's so much easier to do a Zoom call that we actually get these really cool magical events.
Yeah, it's disappointing not going to a convention because it's not just about seeing everybody, but like hanging out with people too, meeting people, talking about what you enjoy too, like all the other people there. But I mean, doing it online, I mean, I feel like they've been doing pretty good so far. Like BlizzCon was pretty good. They did a good job on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they sent us stuff for free too for watching it. Like
I wouldn't hate that. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like for logging in, you get a free mount.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah,
that would be amazing.
I know. I think it was like Xbox or whatever did video game codes during their last event or something like that. Somebody did. Maybe it was IGN. They did like video game codes during the event that you can go claim this code, and like the first 150 people or whatever got the game free. That's a good way to kind of give us more engaging activities to do. But yeah, when do you guys feel it'll be safe to return to conventions? Daniel, what do you think?
I don't think it'll be safe until like maybe next year.
Oh, wow.
And they would have to put a limit of people that are in that building. Because even if next year comes around, there's still gonna be the virus. Yeah, you got the shot, but the shot's still only 90%, 70% of that. Like they'll protect you. And then if you have a full full amount of people in that building, you're still gonna spread that COVID.
Well, once a certain amount of people have the shot, we'll have herd immunity kick in to where you're safe. It's like anything else, smallpox or something. Well, it's not smallpox is big, but the measles or whatever. The herd immunity is what really saves us. So if I don't know the number, so please, I'm not a Fauci, but if like 80% of people have the shot and the shot's only 75% effective, which is the Johnson & Johnson one, you have herd immunity where people are not going to get sick. So that we have to learn what that number is. Next year feels so far away, but I mean, when you hear the professionals talk, like when you hear Fauci talk about it, he's like, I think we should outlaw handshaking. But it's like, but he jokes around about it. He's like, I know people are not going to stop shaking hands and stuff. So, I'm much sooner than you. I think by May, because I plan on getting my shot this month. So I'm thinking by May, I'm good to go. But I think I'll still be safe and wear a mask and all that, of course. But, I don't know.
And so the concept of herd immunity is like, say the three of us are hanging out. I'm sick, but the both of you are immune. You guys can't get it. I can't give it to you. You can't give it to me.
And we can't spread it. Yeah, that's the key right there.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's like you're saying, that's the main goal, is to get to that point where and the fact that it's been causing such a challenge for the hospitals to keep up with.
Right.
Once we've gotten to the point that some people are still going to get it, but it doesn't mean you're at home, dying from it. You're able to go in the hospital and get as much care as you need and have a ventilator available to you. Then I'm sure the death toll will drop dramatically. Of course, it's not worth anybody's life, any one life, to take any risks. So, we need to do everything we can in the meantime to keep people safe. If it was, your mom or your grandma that died because other people wanted to go out and party, you would be, feel completely betrayed. Anyways, that being said, I'd say the CDC and the World Health Organization, whenever they say it's safe to go to conventions and it's safe to be out and mix and mingle, I know everybody's gonna go when they feel comfortable, when they want to go. A lot of people are already trying to go full spring break mode and stuff, but I'd say we should all try to just sit tight and get to the finish line, not rush to the finish and have an incomplete resolution to this. So
and even on the convention front, there's a difference between going to like an E3 or a BlizzCon versus going to your local convention. So keep in mind in that too, and just be safe. And we're all ready to leave the house. we feel you, but we're almost there, guys. So let's just lock it up. Yeah, we're at a plateau right now. That's frustrating. It's like we were going down so quick, and now we're at a plateau where we're still at the second peak's height. And it's like, holy cow, it's like 5,000 people a day getting sick right now. And so, all right, let's move on to happier news, I guess. It's depressing to still be here. Okay, Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda is complete. This follows the European Commission on March 8th, finally giving them approval. Microsoft is paying $7.5 billion with a B, but bolsters their library by 23 first-party titles. Sorry. Much like Mojang and Rare, Bethesda is going to keep their leadership. They will continue developing future projects, including Elder Scrolls 6, Ghostwire Tokyo, and ESO updates. This is a clarification on original reports saying that like all games are going to be open, but some games will actually be for Xbox only. And they were saying that there may be a thing where, like, say, Elder Scrolls 6, you can play it on the PlayStation, but if you want to play the best frame rates and the best resolution, you play it on the Xbox. There might be optimization where it plays better on a certain system or your PC. They also added 20 classic Bethesda titles to Game Pass just in one day. So I mean, that just went up like crazy. Some of the games include Skyrim, Dishonored, and the Fallout 4 games. They all received frame rate boost, so that's 60 frames per second. That's the first time some of these games have gotten that kind of frame rate. So I'm a big Bethesda fan. Usually when they come with a new game, I'm willing to at least try it out. What is the next Bethesda or generally anything in the ZeniMax family game are you trying to play next? Or are you likely to play next, Jonathan?
So I've started Skyrim. I never finished it. So
okay.
Probably, if I was to dive into a Bethesda game, that'd probably be it. But one that looked really cool, it's actually 4 years old now, but I saw a trailer for it like a month or two ago. I was like, man, I was just messing around on YouTube. I was like, I really want to check that out. Is Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah.
That looked like just the visuals, the way they did the trailer, that looked pretty awesome. So I think if I was to get into another Bethesda game, that'd probably be it.
I was in the alpha for that game, and from my understanding, it improved a lot from the alpha. But Wolfenstein games is cool because it's like an alternate reality of like, what if the Nazis were successful, yada yada yada. And they go crazy with it sometimes. Like there's one I think it's like on the moon base and stuff. It's just it's fun. I like alternate history stuff, so it's a fun franchise. It's good one to get into, and a lot of support behind it. They are always putting out new content for that franchise. It's a good one. Daniel, what about you, man?
I've been itching to play Skyrim again.
Yeah.
But I have that issue with the whole sickness thing.
Mhm.
Sick. So I might try to give it another shot, restart it, and then I can't wait for the Ghostwire. When
Yeah.
we've seen that movie trailer, that Xbox, well, it was the Xbox, right? When they showed the little clip of Ghostwire, it was like a little cinematic.
It might have been. I think it's a PlayStation exclusive though, but it might have been.
Oh, it's PlayStation. Yeah, my bad. It was PlayStation. I was so excited.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a Kojima game.
Mhm.
Just like they didn't give you that much, and you're just like wondering like what's going on.
You
Like,
wanting more?
I just want more now. At this
Yeah.
point, it seemed like a Death Stranding kind of game. So I'm hoping that game's gonna be kind of like Death Stranding,
Mhm.
that good. Yeah, those are the two that I'm looking forward to playing.
Yeah. I've been watching like a sucker, man. I've been watching a lot of videos on Elder Scrolls Online, and so I'm just like checking out the new classes and oh, what's this spec? What's this? But and you start to fall. I did
Yeah,
the same thing happens to me with WoW, and I haven't played ESO since the launch, and well, that was a long time ago. And there's a lot of updates to that game, so I've been watching a lot of videos on that, and that's likely gonna get downloaded here pretty soon.
dude, it looks good.
It
Like it looks
does.
fun. Like
Yeah.
I was watching streamers play, and they had like nice gear and stuff like that. There were cool mounts and stuff.
Yeah.
It The only thing that bugs me is just you get like 4 or 5 abilities. That's the only thing that kind of bugs me because then
Yeah.
it's like I feel like there's no damage meters at that point. There's no
Well, you change your abilities based off of what the fight is. Like, oh, I'm
yeah
gonna put my AOE abilities in, I'm gonna put my single target abilities in. But as a hunter, yeah, I use about 4 abilities regularly. There are a lot of utility abilities, but I'm just saying like on the regular, I use like 4.
yeah
So I don't know. I think I'm gonna go in. Last time we played it, we were like, oh hey, you be the tank, you be the healer, yada yada yada. I think this time I'm just gonna go for whatever's fun and just level something new and check out the world again. It's Elder Scrolls. It's always gonna be a cool world to check out, and the expansions look really neat.
Well, you let me know and then I'll download it too because
Yeah.
I've been itching to play it and it's like I don't know. I just haven't and I don't know.
It's a
I
big
was
commitment.
hoping Amazon's project would come out the New World game.
Dude.
That's what I was waiting
Yeah.
for. And I heard good things about this new update.
Mhm.
So
They still have to figure out what they're gonna do. That company is so aimless. They have like such good material. They just got to actually come out with it. That's the problem.
yeah.
All right, we have a new TMNT game announced. This is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It's a beat 'em up side scroller, much like the old Konami titles. This is possibly a sequel to the 91 TMNT Turtles in Time, but by different developers. So it's got upgraded visuals and more dynamic sprites that actually kind of like do different things. Each character actually moves differently. So like Mikey, like when he runs, he's like, like flailing back instead of like in a stealth run or something like that, like the three turtles are doing. I'm hyped for this. I'm excited for this. Did you guys watch the trailer for this by chance?
I did not.
Okay. I'm glad you didn't because it gives me a chance to shout out. If you guys join our Discord, we have the Geek feed. You guys are actually able to add that channel. It's an announcement channel. So you're able to add that to your own Discord if you'd like. And whenever there's something new that comes out or a new trailer that comes out, I post it in there to share it with all the different feeds. So you guys can watch it in there. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm a big fan of the old arcade Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. Is there an arcade game that you guys would want to make a sequel for? Jonathan, what do you think?
Yeah, me and Daniel actually talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I think all of the good arcade games have been made over and over again. Like I'm pretty sure as the generations of new gaming systems have come out, like all the good classic arcade games have been made at least once in another sequel. But going back to that, I do like Mortal Kombat, so I'm down to. I mean, there is again a bunch of sequels of Mortal Kombat. Rampage or the Bubble, what's it called? Bubble Bobble. I had to look it up because I remember that was the one
That's
game. I know it's been remade. I know it's on other platforms and stuff now. But that's like one that I could still today play and not feel like I'm stuck in an old, 80s arcade game. It's a fun, just any age, anytime game where you gotta, launch the bubbles and pop them in clusters and stuff like that. So that was a fun classic right there.
That is fun. That's one of those like pizza place classics. It's always in every pizza place,
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Dan, you got any that you want to get a sequel for?
Yeah. But they already have a sequel, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And I actually had fun playing those like racing games, especially in the movie theaters. You had those little racing games.
Hydro Thunder.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's and then Gauntlet, that one would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I believe they already made a.
They have, but they haven't done one in a while. They could do a brand new one.
Yeah. And I don't think I really liked it when I tried it too. So,
I want a sequel, but not that sequel.
Yeah, not that style. But yeah. Well, right now, I mean, I feel like they can do sequels, especially like certain games like that. I mean, you got your phone now, so you could do like phone versions of those games and just update the graphics too.
Yeah. There is a wizard game that's basically the Bubble Bobble that John's talking about that I play on my iPad. It's not the same, but it's very close, and it kind of scratches that itch. But yeah, that's the thing is it's quick to make. For myself, I'd want another version of the Simpsons game, which is it's a Konami style. It's the same as the TMNT, but with current references, because that's one of the big things that Simpsons does is references the times. And if you're a longtime Simpsons fan, you'll find it interesting that if you watch season 3 and 4, whatever, they reference Michael Jackson, and then in season 13 and 15, and they're referencing Little Bow Wow, and then so it'd be cool to kind of like update that game with now current things in the background. Would be fun to do. Also, you guys remember that Jurassic Park shooter that you like get into the booth and shoot?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Let's get a new version of that with good graphics and surround sound and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember that same booth? They had a Star Trek Voyager game too.
I do remember that. Yeah.
That was a very dated game, but yeah, I could totally play a new version of any Star Trek. If you want to do one that incorporates all the Star Treks, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah, with a max of like 10 polygons, it would be like running. I'm 7 of 9, and just doesn't even look like her at all.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully this, I'm definitely gonna be streaming this TMNT game day one. We might have to get 4 of us on there so we could all take a turtle. But I do call Mikey ahead of time, so just a heads up on that. I got his Funko Pop this week too. I threw that up on our TikTok. Okay, moving on to there's an esports champ that just got suspended amid sexual abuse and allegations. So before we get started on this, I want to kind of preface this with a couple of things. First off, this was Sinatraa 1, his name, we'll call him Sinatraa. He was one of my favorite players. And sexual abuse stuff, as in general, is hard to talk about. So just kind of be aware of that as we go. If you guys want to skip, we totally understand. All right. So, Jay Sinatraa 1 was accused of sexual abuse by his ex-girlfriend, Cleo Hernandez. She too is a streamer. Not as big, of course, but so we'll refer to her as Cleo because that is her name. Both Valorant and Overwatch have taken punitive actions against Sinatraa as the investigation continues. So Cleo was in a relationship with Sinatraa for 9 months. During this time, she claims that he had basically forced her into sex without her consent and all kinds of stuff like that. And there, on our website, I have links to her Twitter account where she makes the claims, and I also have links to all the statements. So if you guys want to read the details, feel free. I will tell you right now, they are upsetting to read. So be warned on that. Caution there. After all the allegations were revealed, Riot responded quickly with an investigation. His team, the Los Angeles Sentinels, had him suspended. And in the Overwatch League, which he used to play for Overwatch, that's where I was a fan of him. He used to play for San Francisco Shock. They're offering refunds on his alien skin. They made a skin that was like inspired by him. So they're offering refunds for that. Again, all those are on our site. So here's my question for you guys. Of course, this is terrible, and full investigations are needed and punishment is needed. What can professional esports teams and organizations do to combat this kind of behavior? Daniel, you have any ideas?
Combat the behavior. Well, one, they need to get the call the cops on this because
get the police
he
involved.
Needs to get some jail time for this.
Yeah.
Two, they need to tell everybody, look, ban them. You're banned if any of this stuff ever happens to any player.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is kind of crazy to see. This happened not sexual abuse, but it was I think it was like somebody physically assaulted another girl on a Call of Duty team. I think we talked about it. It was a few podcasts ago, and
yeah,
they need to take action. Not, oh, you're suspended. No, you are out of the gaming scene. That's what they need to do.
Blacklisted.
Yeah, you're just out for all games. Like all companies need to be on board with this.
Yeah, and get the police involved, like you were saying too. Like,
yeah,
this is serious, guys. Let's treat it that way.
Why are they investigating it?
Yeah,
it should be more the cops should be investigating it. They should be getting the cops, unless they just haven't said that, but they really did get the cops involved. But yeah, one thing, they need to get the cops involved so that they could get this taken care of, and he should serve jail time for it.
Yeah. So I agree with Daniel. The first thing I would do though is put a freeze on everything, get everyone on ice. Let's get the police involved, the authorities, and figure out if this is all true or not. Sometimes there's false allegations. I'm not saying this is at all. Sometimes there is, and it can completely ruin someone's career. So we don't want to jump the gun on any cases like that. So as soon as it is verified that this is true and stuff like that, and the police can do their part, then from his career standpoint, I think the company needs just complete blacklist and ban him, and let everybody know, if you do anything when you're working for us or in this industry, you do anything that is unlawful or does not follow, our ethical standards, you will be completely dropped and blacklisted. Like this should be a warning to anybody else who's thinking about, dog fights or, something, whatever you're trying to do, being a drug dealer on the side kind of thing. That's just, you can't do that because you're representing us and our company and our industry. And we have a little bit of authority and influence right here. We're using it as a platform to make sure this kind of stuff is shut down and out. So I agree. It sounds like they're doing what they need to be doing, though. You
mentioned a few things there that of course, reference to like quarterbacks and stuff like that from the NFL. Should esports look for advice from the physical sports, like into their guidelines, or should they create all new guidelines on how to handle this because they're so different? Or do you think like, oh, you know what, it's similar to how the NFL needs to do things, so they should follow that, or are they like their own beast?
I don't know the guidelines from the NFL, but I don't think the industry necessarily matters. It would just be any influencer industry. not necessarily that, because they're physical athletes or, digital athletes kind of thing. It's just, I think it's anybody who has a influence on people, who's in that limelight or whatever, if they sweep it under the rug and people still follow this guy and someday it comes out, but it's like, oh, it wasn't a big deal, that makes it seem like it's okay, or that it's endorsed by these companies, and we don't want anybody to think anything like that. So
Yeah. The reason I think that there might be a reason to handle things differently, because you guys are talking about like punitive stuff, all the punishment stuff, and I do agree that they need to be harsh, swift, and with actual law enforcement involved. Um, I think we also need to look at how do we do things prior to the problem happening. Um, a lot of these guys, more so than say, let's go with the NFL for example. If you're a football star, you're talented seen early in high school. You kind of get into a good college. In college, you're starting to become big, and so it's a lot of work from a long time. If you are a popular or a famous esports player, it generally catches fire very quickly. Yeah, you do toil a long time, but in obscurity. And then all of a sudden, one day you wake up to see that your stream numbers are huge, or something like that, and then you get picked up by a team eventually. And it feels like it moves quicker at a very young age. If you're a 23-year-old, you're starting to get old in the esports game. You know what I'm saying? You get old quick in esports. So I feel like everything's accelerated speed. So I think there needs to be something. I don't know if it's done by organization side, maybe Twitch can handle it or something like that. There needs to be something out there that's a preamble to this. Like, hey, welcome to being a celebrity. Now here's the things you need to handle. Because I think psychologically, this is a lot for these kids to handle right off the bat. And they are kids. I mean, let's be honest, your brain truly doesn't finish developing for a very long time. And I mean, as we know, I'm in my 30s, and you guys are actually, you guys are both in your early 30s as well. You think you know what you're doing in your 20s, and oftentimes you kind of learn like, no. You're gonna still learn more as you get older. And so these guys are still kind of maturing and stuff like that. So when you give them fame and riches and everything like that, and when I was reading through the Chloe statements, she was saying like there was a red flag early on, but she was like, yeah, but this guy's, this is Sinatraa from the Overwatch League. I mean, I'm just so lucky he's giving me attention. And I think that's just too common. I bet that's a very common feeling. And the celebrity, the one who has the quote unquote power in the situation, needs to realize that they have that influence and learn how to act responsibly with it. And so I feel like there needs to be something done beforehand. Like, hey, congratulations. And of course, it's like there's a normal HR, right? And I'm assuming there's like an HR presentation about how to handle your stuff. But more specifically, like, hey, you have newfound fame, how to handle it. And I don't know. You're right. Get the police involved, though. I think is my number one thing. Really, it's a shame because it hurts because I was a big Sinatraa fan. It's so disappointing. When he left to go do Valorant, I know we did an episode about that. Me and Daniel were just like, oh, that's too bad. He's such a badass player. And then when this comes out, it's just like, I'm so disappointed in you, man. What a shame.
I feel like I agree with the whole like age gap and stuff like that, and your brain's not developing, but it's more like I don't think, because you got a lot of football players that come out and like, I mean, you could just, there's so many football players, 2 running backs that punch their wives, and then another one just beat up their girlfriend, and then I don't think it's age. I think it's just your pretty much the way you live, and if your parents actually taught you right. Because if I ever got big, I wouldn't do stuff like that, even at my age. Like at my younger age, I would never do something like that. So
as soon as I get rich, I'm beating my wife. That's my first.
No, he is not. No, he is not.
But I'm saying that I would assume these people don't think they're gonna be that way. I would hope as a kid, and not like, oh man, as soon as I'm a celebrity, I'm gonna treat women like dogs. But it's that mentality. They get all hyped up and full of themselves. I assume
they get that ego,
and then that ego, and then they take advantage of it. But so to me, I think one thing that could help is like Frank was saying, the victims speaking up. If even male and female victims, speak up and let their voice be heard and let other people see. There was red flags ahead of time, and I didn't realize it. I didn't want to believe it. I just kind of want to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
But maybe somebody else is seeing those red flags right now and they're sweeping it under the rug. And if they can expose those and be like, you know what? Even if I don't leave this relationship, I need to sit down with him and have a clear conversation. Like, hey, you're acting like this and this isn't okay. I want to make sure this doesn't go the wrong direction, or we can just stop right now. That kind of stuff might really help somebody, and it's worth, having those conversations and those people speaking up and trying to be a positive impact in that, in that platform, I guess.
Because on Chloe's side here, she did a lot of due diligence in this case. She has an audio recording of an encounter they had where you can clearly hear her saying no and him saying, "I'm almost done." And it's like, okay, that's bad. And then there's all kinds of text messages that show a very controlling relationship. So she had the foresight to document some situations. It would be nice if she had an outlet to bring those in that case right away. And instead of just storing them, and then a year later she ends up coming out with stuff like that. There needs to be a safe way for her to be able to report these things. And I think esports is so new and stuff like that doesn't really quite have that structure yet. But there's a good idea might be like a phone number or a third party thing where, hey, just come on over us, report what you're finding so far anonymously. That's fine. And we'll document it, and then we'll slowly start to investigate without throwing up the alarms. Because of course, she was saying early on, like, oh, he's this Overwatch star, I don't really want to mess this up. Okay, we don't have to mess it up, but we'll start looking in on our side without poking anything so that he doesn't realize, just to kind of softly get the wheels going. I don't know. It's so hard to try to find a solution to this, and we just want the best for everybody, of course. It's tricky.
Victims are afraid of retaliation, and they usually don't know they're a victim until it's way too far, elevated.
Good statement there, John. That's a good way to put it. All right. We'll continue to look into this, of course. It's unfortunate and sad to hear, and we hope for the very best for Chloe, and we'll keep an eye on this and let you guys know what happens. All right, next here we have Netflix is testing a crackdown on password sharing, which would devastate me. So the small test group confirms a prompt appears asking users to either verify the ownership or sign up for, quote unquote, your own account to keep watching. Historically, Netflix has been pretty cool about this. The idea is that first off, two reporters have found that there's a third of all Netflix watchers are using somebody else's password. That's pretty high. I didn't know it was that high, which is pretty impressive. The idea was kind of what HBO did with Game of Thrones. If everybody's watching Stranger Things, it kind of becomes like a big thing in the pop culture. So people who don't have an account will sign up for an account just because they heard how good Stranger Things is, for an example. That's how HBO treated Game of Thrones there. That's why they were okay with some of the piracy going on. But for some reason, they're starting to crack down on this. So is it fair for consumers to be sharing passwords? What do you think, John?
I am outraged by Netflix, by the way. They've been, ticking up their price little by little. They have some good content, but it's not the stellar content that they started with. They were knocking it out of the park before, and it's kind of getting lackluster nowadays. Mm-hmm. And there's so much competition out there. Yeah. Is this them just trying to grab money? Now that there's competition out there, they're just trying to just fight for that extra dollar. They just ticked us up a dollar from $12.99 to $13.99, I think it was, just 3 or 4 months ago. And now they're locking down on this, which to me, from having Netflix for years now, I don't feel like this. Let me restart this. I didn't read the terms of agreement before I checked the box.
By the way, I will. In the terms of agreement, it says do not share your password. By the way, it does say that you can't do this. It's not allowed. It's a heads up on that.
So on the Friendly Homie Connect side of Netflix, they from the beginning, this has always been utilized as like a family account, right? Like you have, if you have 8 TVs in your house, you're going to have multiple accounts going on. Everybody else, the parents and the kids and the cousins, whatever, all log in on the same account and you all get to watch your own shows. Now, all of a sudden, they're like, oh, yeah, that's been cool for 8 years or whatever, but we're going to lock it down to where everybody has to have their own independent login and stuff like that. That's BS. I think they should instead, since they have a lot of competition and they need to, revitalize their image and all this good stuff, they need to go the opposite route and double down with the fact that people can share an account and give them independent passwords on one family account. If you need to tick up the dollar amount like they have recently, make it $14.99. Next time you do that, you include this upgrade of you can have, 3 or 4 different logins on that one account. With those logins, you put this restriction to where it has to verify your identity and all that stuff. So you can't spread each password to 10 different people because that would be insane. But I think if I were them, I would lean in that direction so that people get the benefit without this feeling like they're being policed and restricted on what was already a very broad and comfortable system.
Doesn't profiles basically do the same thing as having different logins? Everybody has their own profiles.
You have your profile, so you can have your custom views and stuff like that. It tailors what it shows you, but you log in with log in with the same password.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
so
if your profiles were password protected individually, would be the same thing.
That makes sense. Okay.
See, I thought you were allowed to have up to like 2 or 3 people on at the same time.
You are, but the idea their idea is that you're in the same house. One person's watching the living room, the other one's watching in the bedroom. But realistically, it's like everybody get one.
No. Yeah, so husband and wife, you're not allowed to watch each other's account. I have to have mine. My wife has to have hers. If I'm watching 3 shows in 3 different bedrooms, that's cool. But she can't watch her own show in her own room while I'm on the office, whatever.
John's so heated about this.
I know. He nailed it too. Like,
it's like it's stupid. I mean, so of course we talk a lot about business sense stuff on here too, like Netflix and on Hulu and all that stuff. And it's like from a business aspect, this is just a stupid jab in the wrong direction at the wrong time. Why would you do this? This is just bad PR when you need some good PR. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna cool down and stop ranting so much. You guys talk.
Okay. Well, I mean, it hits us strong because, hey guys, here's the truth of it, and I'm not too scared of it because I'm sure everybody listening has gotten a version of this. We all have different accounts. Then we all we all use each other's accounts, and like, hey, this person's paying for the Disney Plus, that person's paying for the Netflix, this one's paying for the Hulu and HBO or whatever. So it's kind of commonplace that it's a way to kind of connect with each other, and I think what's going on here, from what I'm understanding, is. What my prediction, anyways, is Netflix was high on the hog early 2020, right? Everybody's at home, everybody's watching Tiger King. And since then, Disney Plus is doing strong with WandaVision, and they have, of course, Mandalorian, and now Winter Soldier coming up this week. And we have, HBO Max has been thriving. It's doing so good. Paramount Plus, after the rebranding, is doing real good because they brought on all the Nickelodeon stuff, which has really been pushing them across. Peacock's doing well. So the competition's strong. Even Hulu's really good. Competition is really strong, and I think they're starting to bolster, and I think Netflix might be worried because you're saying that Netflix used to be better than it is now. And I would say yes, because they had a lot of the Family Guy, like they had a lot of the Hulu content part of Netflix. But I don't think the original, I think original-wise, Netflix Originals, I think, has never been better because there's so much new stuff. I think it's just because in comparison, they're not as good as they used to be because they used to be the only game in town. When an HBO Max account, honestly, just solves everything. To me, I think HBO Max is great. Hulu, all of these have like this thing where they can really be your one guy. And Netflix just can't do that anymore. They can't be the one guy. So I think maybe they're worried about it. They're starting to see that happen, and they might be trying to find a way to secure more funding because, hey, there's a third of the people using us that aren't paying for us. So they're trying to figure out a way to tighten that up. Do you think Netflix needs to worry about these rising competitors, Daniel?
They should, because right now Netflix does have a lot of good original shows like Witcher, Lock and Key, amazing. Stranger Things, amazing. But me using somebody's HBO Max account, I'm loving HBO Max right now.
Oh,
it's amazing. I'm getting to watch all these movies that I never got to see before because I'm a cheap ass. And I see why they're just trying to get more money out of you, but they're already screwing me over because I'm paying for the 4K version of Netflix, which is like $15, I think, a month or something like that. And then they're gonna bump it up again. I see why John's upset about it. I was pretty upset.
I don't know about
it
that
too.
upset, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, if Netflix fucks up this Avatar show, which they already did because they lost the main creators, I'm cutting them off. That's gonna be it. No more Netflix.
You're on notice.
Yep.
I agree. But would you? Okay, not you, John, but Frankie. You're a Witcher guy.
Yes.
You like Lock and Key.
Yes.
You like Stranger Things.
Of course.
Are you gonna cut them out?
I might put them. Okay, so here's the thing. I might not cut them out. I might put them on the HBO thing though, where there's nothing new on right now. I'll cancel until Stranger Things comes out, which Netflix has had this like little thing where I'm always going to pay for you guys because you're Netflix,
Yeah.
which is not something that all the other ones necessarily have. So that might be like HBO is a really good example of like, I'll get it for a few months, stop it for a few months, get it for a few months. Why not? And then fill it in with like a Showtime or whatever, which Showtime actually have all the years around too. Forget about that. But yeah, so it might become that. I don't know. You're right though. When the next like Lock and Key comes out, I'm gonna own that shit. I'm not gonna not watch it.
I think like I feel like the only two like other streaming channels or whatever that compete with them is pretty much HBO Max and Hulu.
Yeah.
I feel like Disney Plus, like if my account wasn't free right now, my account's free because I have Verizon. But within a couple more months it'll be over.
Yeah.
I'll be canceling that because I'm not gonna pay for that. Apple TV, disappointing.
I'm loving Apple TV. Oh wow, yeah.
I'm not really enjoying it too much. And then Hulu, last time I was on it, I was just kind of disappointed. There's a lot of anime, but I was still disappointed. The only one that really caught my eye was more the HBO Max, and it's Netflix, and like you said, like it's a recurring payment like I'm willing to do, but if they keep bumping up the prices and then kind of like screwing me over with this whole, because my sister uses my account too.
Yeah.
And then my mom. But they're family members. So it's not a big deal. And if they do this, then I'll probably only sign up when Witcher comes out. I'll pay the $15, and then Stranger Things, and then Lock and Key comes out. I'll probably be doing the same thing you're gonna do, and they're just gonna lose money on that too.
They will,
because they're losing that recurring, like every year I'm paying money.
yeah. Currently, what is your most viewed platform?
Right now, it's it would be them, Netflix.
And
I kind of wish. Don't you wish they did a yearly plan too? Unless they do, and I just don't know. That if you just pay for the whole year, you could just pay for like whatever, like $80, save $10. Yeah, you save like $10 or whatever, just pay for the whole year. I kind of wish they did that kind of program. A lot of people do.
Yeah, I'm surprised
that'd
they
be
don't
smart.
They don't have one.
When they have something hot come out, like you're saying, like you subscribe for Stranger Things, do like a Stranger Things bundle where you get it for the whole year at this rate.
Yeah,
and then you're locked in, so you can't do that on and off kind of thing.
That's a good idea because it's when Stranger Things comes out, it's hot shit, right? That's when people are excited, and make it to where like if you get the yearly thing, you get the Stranger Things bundle, you also get access to like bonus features and a documentary about Stranger Things, so you get like a little extra exclusive stuff. My most watched streaming service is Hulu by a pretty good chunk, just because I'm the kind of guy that likes to watch old sitcoms, and I'll put Family Guy on when I'm about to go to bed or whatever. So that's all Hulu. Jonathan, what's your most watched right now streaming service?
So just recently I didn't realize we had access to HBO Max for so long. So me and my wife have been watching a lot of HBO Max. But other than that, because that's very recent, probably Hulu or CBS All Access. CBS or now Paramount Plus. Has all Star Treks. So I used to watch Netflix for Star Trek, but forget those guys. It's on CBS.
Okay, so because you're just now tipping your toes in HBO, John, let me give you some suggestions. First off, you got to finish all of Veep, which I think you might have already.
No, I'm like halfway through.
Okay. If you're a Danny McBride fan, him and HBO have a really great relationship. He does Vice Principals, which I find is hilarious. And his latest one, Squeaks turned me on to Righteous Gemstones.
I watched a few episodes. I remember you telling me about that before.
It's so wacky. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. And it has a really nice ending where it's like, a lot of times an ending to a season, they'll kind of be like, all is lost and we have to wait till next season. No, it actually wraps things up in a way like you'll see there's another season coming, but it's like, oh, okay, it's actually a happy ending. And they all did the thing like, if I were to write a fairy tale, this is how it would end. So it's really nice. There's a lot of good shows on HBO, but those ones start with those. I really can't suggest them enough. But yeah, Eastbound and Down is Danny McBride as well, but I think it's a little dated now at this point, but yeah. All right. Speaking of HBO Max, they're adding an ad-supported version coming in June. So everything that's an HBO original, so like Veep and stuff like that, you're covered. You don't have to worry about that. That'll still be ad-free. But theatrical releases like this new King Kong versus Godzilla, that will not be available on the ad-supported version. I think this is a good move on their part because I like the way Warner Brothers is just bringing everything right to HBO right away. And this is kind of a nice little perk to make sure that you guys get the upgraded version. I think it's well worth it, in my opinion. At this price point, would you switch to the ad supported? Like, what price point would you switch to ad supported, or would you stick with the like $15 a month for the regular HBO Max? What do you think, Daniel?
I would, with my current income, I would just pay for it. When I was on Hulu, it bugged me because I had the free version, and
Yeah.
I'd have to do like the whole ads and stuff. And I hate when you're watching a movie. Let's just say like if I was watching Kong versus Godzilla,
Yeah.
I hate when an ad comes up and ruins that whole hype scene
Oh,
and stuff
so
like
true.
that. Like if it's like if you're in the middle of a fight and then all of a sudden shit's going down, like you're getting goosebumps, you hype, you're like, oh yeah, let's get him, Godzilla. And all of a sudden, ad supported by whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that triggers me. I can't take it. So I would have to pay the $15. Yeah, I'll be willing to pay, especially with my current income. I'm doing pretty good. So
showing off. Yeah,
Flex,
girl,
man.
I'm ad free, baby. And the clubs.
Dang.
I actually it's funny because I have two different Hulu accounts. I have one that was part of a bundle that has ad supported, and then I was like, I can't do these ads anymore. So I have a second Hulu account. I pay for both, but one's bundle. My second Hulu account has no ads. I can't get rid of the bundle. Like the part of that bundle is my Showtime and my Spotify, and I'm not shaking Spotify. I love Spotify, so basically I keep the entire bundle. But yeah, so I have an ad-free version as well, and I can't go back. The worst part about it, like you're right, yeah, they'll totally like take freaking the piss out of the vinegar when they do that, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, let's watch this ad. The part that I hate is like they have like 4 ads and they'll show 3 per thing, and it's just the repeat of the same ads. There'll be times where they actually just go back to back on an ad, and I'm like, I don't need to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus talking about the new Tylenol. I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm good, and it's so frustrating. Yeah, and I actually pay for YouTube. Does the same thing. That's the reason I pay for YouTube now, because I'm just like, I'm so tired of these ads that are the same ads. That's my biggest problem. Go ahead, John.
Something I like, I think YouTube's the ones that's doing it right now, is they're doing targeted ads where you can give a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like the ad or not. We've had this ability for so long. I don't know why we haven't done it before, and we should be doing it on all of our streaming platforms too, because I'm a lot more pleasant when I'm hearing ads of things that I totally love, or something that at least interests me, or a show that's kind of like the one that I'm watching right now, or something like that, versus women hygiene products, or I don't know, going hiking in the mountains when that's totally not my thing, or whatever, something super off your whatever that you don't like. So I think we need to do more of that. But speaking of HBO, like you were saying, I think if it was under $10, I would probably get the cheaper one, the ad supported one or whatever. I imagine they would probably try to do $6.99 to compete with Disney Plus, maybe $7.99. So, yeah. But I think that would be, because I don't watch it for the big box office movies anyways. But if it was at like $10 or more, then you might as well pay the extra, $4, whatever, and get ad free, because that's so close anyways. But yeah, I imagine, like you're saying, they'll probably be like $6.99, $7.99, try to get down there with the Disney Plus range.
You nailed it on the head. I think that's exactly what they're going to do, is try to go for Disney Plus. They're going to try to knock them off, because I think they both have the same business model too, where like, oh man, the new season of whatever is on HBO, and that brings a lot of people in. Same thing with Disney Plus. I think Disney Plus is staying alive because of the Marvel shows, and of course Mandalorian, and that's why they get in there. And at $6, it's like, okay, that's fair. At $15 though, that's pretty hard to justify. So I think you're right there. I think that might be the case.
See, if they put all the ads right in the beginning of the movie or the show or whatever, knock all 4 of them out at the same time, that's okay, but you don't always get that choice.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. Like if you put it right in the beginning of the movie, all 4 just boom, 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 knock them all out. I could go bathroom, go get my water, whatever. That's fine. Instead of putting pause, you just play these ads, then boom, just go do your thing real quick and then come back, and that's okay. But especially like when you're watching like a series, and then it's like you're just trying to binge watch an anime like One Piece, and you're getting ad supported by everything, like that kind of bugs me because I want to binge watch it and I just want to go through the whole show. I want to just skip the beginning, in cinematic or whatever. What's it called when the show
Yeah,
starts?
like the intro.
Like
Yeah.
the intro. I want to skip that and skip the ending, and then just play the next episode.
Yeah.
That's what I want. The credits. I want to get rid of the credits and just continue. But these ads, if they're in between each episode, it
Mid-rolls.
just bug me.
Yeah.
I have a great idea.
Far away.
You know, at the end of every streaming show or whatever, usually that'll automatically start the next episode, or it'll leave you on the title screen so you choose, which way you want to go. What if you could defer to have all of your ads right then and there and double them even? Give me twice as much ads, but I don't want them in the middle of my show. I don't want them at the beginning. Put them on that loading screen after I'm done with my show. So while you're sitting on the couch, you realize your movie just ended, whatever, and you're texting and stuff. You look, oh crap, there's ads. Okay, well, you wait your 5 minutes for all the ads to go by, and then you get to choose your next thing. Or however long it'll be.
Yeah.
I think that'd be smart.
So
put them on the back end.
As a podcaster, we learn a lot about ads and how they work and stuff like that. And there are 3 different kind of ads. There's the ones that are at the end, the ones at the beginning, and the ones in the middle. Those are called mid-roll. The most valuable ads, the ones that sell for the most, are the mid-roll ones. So while those are most convenient for us, we tend to clock out for the intro and the exit ones. It's the mid-rolls. That's where the money comes in. So that's why, unfortunately, I don't think it'll ever happen if they put them in the beginning as much as I like it, because, of course, it's like, okay, yeah, good pee break. And then another thing, too, is if they're at the end and it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to watch the next episode. I'm just going to, bounce and come back. So I know I kind of think that there needs to be something. I don't know. Hulu burned me, man. The way that they would just repeat the same ads over and over again really burned me. So I kind of don't want any ads. I think it would have to be down there near $5 for me to go ad supported. But even then, I might not, because I paid $6 to not have ads on YouTube. So I don't know.
I'm thinking even back in the day with the before we had streaming services, you leave your TV on in the background while you're doing dishes or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's going through some Jerry Springer's on or whatever, and there's ads in between that and ads in between everything. If that's how your streaming service was you just you have Hulu on, but you're not really watching nothing, so it's just giving you ads all day while you leave it up, and it's giving you credit towards your next show or movie or whatever. So when you actually watch a show or movie, I did listen to that Honda commercial while I was doing the dishes. So I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it, but it was there. I got exposure, whatever. It would take a lot more ads to value the same attention that you give one in the middle of your show. But if you have it running all day while you're cleaning the house or whatever, doing your taxes, then accumulate credits towards not having to watch them during your shows. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Don't you guys think it's crazy how much money we spend on just subscriptions to certain things like Amazon? If you have Amazon Prime, you get Twitch ad free, and then YouTube. These companies, they're fucking smart. They're fucking smart. Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, if you were to add it up, you're like, man, I spend a lot each month on just different things, but I don't want to lose a single one of them. I would be so upset to not have one of them, but the Prime and stuff.
Crazy though.
Even shout out to the patrons, but even the editing software that I use, I pay $30 a month for that, for the editing software for the podcast. And it's but if I didn't have that, oh my God, I need to have it. So it's worth paying for. And then usually you make sure to line it up to where it's when the paychecks come in. So you're like, okay, I didn't feel it as bad, so it's okay. But there's a lot of them stacked up there. You don't realize it.
There is. If you actually write down every subscription you have.
Yeah.
Dude, that takes a good chunk of your check.
There are actually now apps out there where you could put all your subscriptions in and it manages them all for you. So you can actually stop them whenever you want to and then start them up again. And it is all under one app so that you can kind of be like, oh, I'm taking HBO off for a while. Boom, stop it. And then start it up again. It's pretty nice.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
But I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that app costs a certain amount of money each month.
Hell
yeah. But all right. Moving. Speaking about HBO here again. The AT&T investors call was this week. The only thing of excitement for us basically is they showed an image that showed all the DC projects currently in work that's coming to HBO. And the 2 things that are new is the Batgirl movie's still a go, and that was thought to be canceled. We don't know if it's necessarily going to still be Joss Whedon making it, but it is a Batgirl movie. I mean, this was 5 years ago they were talking about doing this, and it was just stagnant. But that is still a go, and that is still happening. That's cool. The really great thing is they heard Daniel on a couple podcasts ago, and they're like, "Hey, Daniel's got a good idea here. There's a Zatanna show coming. I'm super hyped for this." Daniel, what do you think this series should look like? What should the story of Zatanna look like?
I I seen it was gonna be a series and a
Yeah.
movie. So
Oh, I didn't know there was gonna be a movie too.
I seen something about it was gonna be a movie,
Oh,
and
cool.
I it was gonna be Batgirl movie and Zatanna movie, but I'm not too sure now. Um, well, the series I'm hoping it just starts off because it'd be kind of cool to see her young when she was young, learning all this magic and stuff like that. The whole backwards reading a spell or whatever.
Mhm.
It'd be pretty awesome. Get to know about her dad, stuff like that. Like I want the beginning stuff. I don't want it
Classic origin story
that
stuff.
she's like already helping, the Justice League
Oh,
or
okay.
anything like that. I want, especially with that character, you don't really have too much information about her
Yeah.
unless you read the comics. But I haven't read the comic books. I just know her from every other Justice League.
When she comes in and beats a badass real
Yeah, it
quick.
just
Yeah.
helps like Batman, Smallville. Seeing her in Smallville, she helps.
Oh, I didn't know she was in Smallville. Smallville surprises me all the time. You always talk about how like, oh yeah, Smallville had this random ass character that I'm like, what? I didn't know this.
Yeah, she helps Clark, and Clark kind of helps her out a couple times in the show.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm hoping it's like what we were talking about Black Panther 2, it's like building the character, see her life, her struggles and stuff like that, and then her hopefully later on, helping Justice League.
Yeah, I'm myself would rather see her do like some cool stuff with like Constantine or whatever, like come in and save the day and have like a rotating cast. But I think what you're saying is much more realistic, and
Yeah.
I think it would be a good way to introduce her into the world and make her more mainstream.
Well,
John,
she
you got
dates Constantine, right?
what's that?
She does end up dating Constantine later on,
Probably
right?
Constantine's with everybody at one point or another. So I don't know if on the regular, but I'm sure at some point he's been a little bit with everybody like as a player. Jonathan, what are your thoughts on Zatanna series or Batgirl series for that matter?
So I was thinking about this. I looked up some of her pictures and stuff like that. I was like, what would look really cool is like a Jessica Jones style series in Las Vegas. So I could totally see
That'd be
her
cool.
and the series. How I could imagine the series starting is like a competitor, kind of like the Prestige. You have somebody who's seeing her do this really cool tricks and just trying to figure out what her trick is, kind of following her and stuff like that, and eventually finds out that she has this power and stuff like that. But you find that the person you're following, who's following her and trying to find out her business or whatever, turns into a villain, attacks her, tries to steal her power or something like that, and she has to fight her off, and then you expose that she has some magical abilities and stuff.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
Her dad was a villain, right?
Was that what it was? Her dad was the villain?
No, I can't remember though. I can't remember if her dad was a villain. And
I don't remember. She definitely needs a spotlight more, but I don't remember a lot of the little details about her. I mostly know her from her entrances into the Justice League, not like her stuff on her own. So that's why I think I'm excited to see more from her and really get a backstory on her, a little better one. So
and then Batgirl, they already got a new Batgirl, correct?
Yeah, this isn't going to be a Batwoman. They have a new Batwoman. This is Batgirl.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Barbara Gordon, Oracle later on, stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool. I'm hoping I kind of hope it's animated. I hope it's based off the Harley Quinn show because the Harley Quinn show is so freaking good. And they have Batgirl in there in season 2, and she's kind of a side character. So if they could just do a spinoff of that, I hope it's an animated series, kind of a spinoff of that one. And they really need to do an Ivy series because Ivy's really good in that too. But yeah, I'm hoping it's that. Fingers crossed.
So you guys like DC. Do you guys think that anybody could do DC better than is being done right now?
Marvel.
Yeah, I already said that last time. Marvel. Disney just needs to buy them.
Yeah, that'd be like a major monopoly, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I looked it up. I realized Viacom owns a bunch of companies, but they own CBS. So
yeah, they just merged last year.
Yeah, so they have everything from Star Trek to Avatar. They own Nickelodeon too. So I'm thinking the people that make Star Trek and make the fun family movies or TV series Avatar, if you could bring that together to make a new DC universe, I think that would be a pretty awesome mix.
Yeah. Well, we have the Avatar Studios. Give them a Batman project.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Or a Nightwing project.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah,
Dude,
Red
think of
Hood,
the
Nightwing, that'd be
story.
good. Yeah. Oh man. I just want more
Wait.
Batman content.
I didn't think about that until you mentioned that right now. Maybe Avatar Studios would do more than just Avatar.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. That's gonna be cool. I'm excited now. I'm more excited.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, man, we're gonna get so much Avatar stuff. They got an entire building now just for that. But like, yeah, no, I guess that maybe that animation style and writing and stuff like that will be going into so much other stuff.
The key is the writing because it's gonna have the two creators of Avatar. So a lot of it is all about the writing is going. Which I mean, Avatar writing's amazing. So I'm all for that. That's really good.
I'm really hoping when they start making these animated shows and stuff like that, I'm hoping it's not the new style animated crap, like how they're making that Rugrats.
Oh, it's so terrible looking.
Yeah.
And then when they hinted originally Avatar, that animated, just ugly. I want the original animated look. That's what I want for all these shows. Like, I felt like when Batman series came out, that animation was amazing, and I could still watch that animation right now.
Yeah.
What was the word? Animation?
Yeah, animation. Yeah.
I could see that over any of this new crap.
And I'm telling you guys check out Sloop. I'm so proud of that episode that I did because I talk about in an interview with Bruce Timm, the guy who did the animated series for Batman and came up with that animation style. He knew because they actually drew the cells out, like they actually drew each time he moved. That's why that Batman and that all those Batmans don't have like a lot of muscles on them because they're like it would have killed the hands of all of our artists.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh yeah, that's so iconic. The way he looks is like iconic, and like I wouldn't think of it any other way. But it's because he's like, I just can't have them do ribs every time, and the shadows and stuff like that. Like it's all really part of the noir and the gothic feel of the show, but it's also part of like it's cheaper on animation to do it this way. And they're even one of the executive producers mentions in the documentary that when they got big out of nowhere and people were like, oh my God, it's the best thing in animation. And they got new studios. She felt like they lost a little bit of their magic because now they could do the money to do, we'll do a little bit of computer graphics on this part. And it's like, well, you lost some of your magic because of that. It's like, with more money, they lost something there, but it was very fascinating. All right, we got a couple more things here real quick. Star Trek Strange New Worlds has begun filming. The fans took to social media to exclaim how excited they were to be on the brand new set. They built a new set for the Enterprise. It's a whole new thing, and apparently it looks amazing. One of them says like it feels like you just take off. It's just that realistic. So I'm excited for this. I think this will be really good. I think I'm most excited for that over any Star Trek property coming up right now. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I'd have to say so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so happy there's a lot of Star Trek going on at once, but yeah, I mean, this is super exciting. I really want to plan a trip at some point. I mean, I know we want to plan BlizzCon and stuff like that once, the pandemic's all cooled down. But it'd be so awesome to go on set and see where they're filming this kind of stuff. Like you're saying, there's fans there, tweeting and stuff like that. Super stoked. Like that'd be cool to be there and actually see the live sets.
And they're in Toronto for this one, so we'd have to go to Canada.
Dang. Yeah.
Not only Canada, but on the wrong coast of Canada too. It's not even on our side.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
But I'm down. That's also where they shoot. They do all the CW shows in the same area. So
in Canada,
I'm on board.
I thought it would be in like CBS Studios in LA area.
Taxes are cheaper to film in Toronto right now. Toronto and Atlanta are really big filming spots now because of like the tax changes and stuff.
So a good chance they land on an ice planet, right?
Yeah.
Might as well. You got the snowy sets. Let's use it.
That's like when Oliver Queen's jumping around Central City or whatever. Like that looks like a nice, clean Toronto, not like it's being filmed on the set of New York or something like that. How is this crime-riddled city looking so clean? And then, of course, for this week we have 2 new series starting up. Okay, so we have Justice League that starts on the 18th. That's going to be a 4-part series. It's, the remaster or remake, whatever, of the Justice League film. And then we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier starting on the 19th, the day after, and that'll be coming out weekly every Friday. Both shows, we're going to live tweet as the episodes come out, so you guys can join us on Twitter and, complain or be excited. just a heads up, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we are getting some early reviews for that. Reviewers have gotten the first episodes. For some reason, they missed us. I'm not sure why. And it sounds like it's a very character-driven episode. So the series in whole looks like it's going to be real action-packed, but that first episode is very establishing the characters post-Endgame. So that'll probably be quite muted compared to the rest of the series. And then everybody, so far, the Justice League, the first episode, has gotten positive reviews. So that's fingers crossed going in for that exciting. Yeah. Which of these two are you most excited for? Daniel, why don't you go first?
I'm excited for the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Honestly. I want to see the movie that should have released originally, and I'm honestly super excited for it because it's gonna be a 4-hour movie. I think most of the guys at my work are excited for this
Yeah.
movie, and I'm hoping when it comes out, it pretty much makes them not want to redo Superman or replace Superman.
Yeah. By the way, I'm finding out that it might not be Calvin Ellis Superman that we get for the new Superman. It'll be a different Superman. I think they said it's Val-Zod or something like that. I don't remember his name, but yeah, it's Earth 2 Superman. I hope it does well. There are people that are like, oh, this will bring back to the Zack Snyder universe. No, I do not like Zack Snyder's work, and I think he did a really piss poor job in Marvel universe. I mean, like Batman vs Superman. I don't understand why people are so freaking confused on like everybody hated Lex Luthor and the Batman vs Superman, and Justice League, like the bones of it is still his, and it's all garbage. It's all a hot mess.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't need to get into a rant. I don't need to get upset. I'm hoping to be convinced that Zack Snyder is as amazing as his fans pretend he is. So fingers crossed. We'll see. I am more excited for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, Falcon and Winter Soldier is gonna be good. Marvel projects are usually freaking good.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I know that when I watch it, I'm gonna be hooked on it. I'm like, God, it's good, great, whatever. But I'm just hoping Justice League is gonna be amazing because I love Justice League, and I'm just hoping it just makes it better.
Yeah.
This whole project made it better. That's why I'm excited.
Jonathan, which one are you most hyped for?
Sadly, I'm not like super excited about either of them. I didn't watch the first Justice League just because it didn't look amazing. I didn't care for like Wonder Woman and the other movies, so I was like, just didn't care to watch it. Yeah, so I know I'm probably the only one, but I'm gonna.
He also doesn't like Deadpool,
anyways.
By the way. Just gonna throw that back out there. Just gonna remind everybody.
Waste of time. But also, so Falcon and the Winter Soldier are like my least favorite Marvel characters. I'm like, why are you making a full-on series just based on them? Hopefully, it's really good.
John's making no friends today, man.
Yeah, tons of friends. I mean, if you list the Marvel cast, are there not like everybody on the list better than these two guys?
I'll give you that, but
I do agree
bottom of the barrel.
with John.
Yeah, that's true.
I would love a Thor series. That'd be cool. Thor and Loki or Thor when he goes with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That'd be awesome.
The thing I'm most excited for the Winter and Soldier thing is I keep saying Winter Soldier. I mean Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's because of the movie. I'm hoping it revitalizes Hydra, because Hydra's kind of fallen to the wayside after Captain America Winter Soldier. I'm hoping this show kind of brings them back. That's my big hope for this thing. As much as I'm not necessarily a fan of I am a fan of them, but I'm not as big of a fan as say like Captain America. They should be fighting S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm presuming, because that's what these characters would be fighting. Bring S.H.I.E.L.D. back. That's as cool, you know. Or I mean, I said S.H.I.E.L.D. I meant Hydra.
So you're not as big a fan of the heroes as you are of the well-developed villains of their story.
Yeah. That's definitely
cool. But that's
I feel
good.
like
I mean,
it would
that's
cost
good
too
writing.
much if they got like made a Thor series.
Yeah,
because I feel like Chris would be wanting, unless he would take like pretty much the same amount as a movie, just into like an 8-part episode.
Call it as Guardians.
Well, we're getting the Loki series next.
Yeah, but Loki, I mean, I don't feel like he's a big actor too. Like
Tom Hiddleston, the dude dated Taylor Swift. Not that makes you a big star, but
is that on his resume?
if you dated Tay-Tay, you're up there. I mean, you're definitely up there.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it would be awesome to get a Thor series. I would love that, but it would never happen.
I think he's going to be in the Loki one because Loki jumps out of a plane and says, "Brother, don't fail me now," or whatever, and then he gets picked up by the Bifrost. So I think that we're going to see him get picked up by Thor and like a version of Thor. I think it's going to be an alternate reality or alternate multi-dimensional Thor.
Yeah, because Thor's not back at Asgard, right? Didn't Asgard get destroyed?
Well, the thing with this Loki is he's jumping around in time. In that Loki series, he's jumping around time fixing things. So, and the plane he's jumping off of and the flight attendant he's talking to is dressed in like a 60s, 70s attire. So I believe that he's going to be jumping off and it might be his dad or it might be a young Thor that's like, oh, you pain in the butt, whatever. And so I think we're going to get a Thor cameo. I'm down for that. All right, guys, that's going to be it for us this week. If you guys want to watch the stream, we're going to be starting on the 16th. That's the day that this episode comes out. Satisfactory, probably every day. The last time we promised an everyday stream, I was under the weather and that didn't happen. But I'm feeling good, so fingers crossed. So join us for that. And then again, we're going to be live tweeting the 2 episodes. We have a Pusher Talk coming up possibly next week. Now we got to make sure that Squeaks and Daniel both have good schedules for that and getting that underway. But thank you guys for joining us, and come on over to my Patreon. Hang out with us over there. We'll see you guys later. Bye.